Hi guys, my name is Radek Ratusznik and I am game director of Ghostrunner. Today I would like to show you some new features from our game. As you can see right now, we are at the final moments of the first tutorial level, which we presented many times before. We are now standing in front of a prison tower, when the mysterious Whisper, who's been guiding us through the level, is imprisoned. So let's try to deal with the guards and let's find out who really is locked down over there.
Prisoner threat level extremely high. Prisoner released.
Free at last. Pleasure to meet you. Face to face, that is. Now, let's take a look inside. This may feel a little strange. Welcome to Cybervoid. Time to fix you up. You can talk here, by the way.
Who are you?
You can call me Architect.
Who am I?
You're a Ghostrunner. Number 74, to be precise. That will have to do for now. Your physical body is vulnerable. Time runs slower here, but we should still hurry. Just keep moving. I will take care of your recalibration.
It turns out the Ghostrunner isn't a silent protagonist after all. We've decided to follow the silent warrior archetype. He's mindful of his surroundings, focused and cautious, only speaking when he really needs to. The Ghostrunner transitions to Cybervoid, which is a virtual reality network that spans the whole of Dharma Tower.
I remember a fight. Others like me. A fall.
You've been cast down from Dharma City to the base district. It's a miracle to survive a fall like that, even for someone like you.
A ghost runner.
Yes, you were bodyguards, peacekeepers, arbitrators, and anything else we needed you to be. You tried to stop the coup.
There is his chance to take a breath and ask some questions.
There was a woman.
The name is Mara, or the Keymaster, as she calls herself now. 20 years ago, she stood against me.
It was you I was trying to save.
You failed. I died. My body did anyway. Thanks to the precautions I had taken, I'm still here. Although this form has its limitations.
Are you an AI?
You could say that. You could also say Dharma Tower is a skyscraper. Technically correct.
During this level, the Ghostrunner finds out as much as he can about his past and undergoes a series of recalibrations.
What is the tower then?
Humanity's home. A megastructure that once housed a million. It had been under my care since its creation, almost a century ago. I served the people, kept them safe, maintained the shelter I provided. But Mara had her own plan. She became the sole ruler of Dharma Tower, ruining what I've built, bringing us back to the verge of extinction.
Moving through Cybervoid represents the process of hacking, gaining access, or otherwise interacting with advanced computer systems. In this particular case, we witness the Ghostrunner undergoing calibration of his protocols. This will set him up for further improvements in the future.
Why can't this place be normal?
Oh, it's perfectly normal. It's you that has become incompatible. The incompetent repairs you were subjected to made you divergent. You no longer function like a Ghostrunner is supposed to. but we'll change that.
Who repaired me?
That would be the Climbers, a group of rebels that tried to oppose Mara.
Where are they?
Dead, I'm afraid. They'd been killed before I managed to contact you. But there's no time to worry about them now. We're almost done here. Press on.
How did she manage to win?
I was stabbed in the back. We both were, you and I.
Who was she?
Was? A dear friend. A trusted partner. Brilliant scientist. Who is she now is the question you should be asking. And you wouldn't like the answer. No one among the people of Dharma Tower would.
What do you want me to do?
Kill Mara, of course. To be able to do that, you'll have to relearn a few things and tweak your performance. But first, jump. We need to get back, and it's much quicker this way.
We leave Cybervoid for now. We gained an overall sense of purpose and context, but much of this world's nuance and the story's finer points elude us. Alright, so we are jumping to a later part of the game. So it is not the level that will happen right after exiting the Cybervoid. The Ghostrunner is still on his way through the base district towards the upper levels of the tower. Right now, we would like to show you a new type of the enemy, the Trigger. These enemies are equipped with auto rifles and are way more dangerous than the enemies we encountered before. We need to be quick and precise while dealing with them. The best moment to attack them is while they are reloading their rifles. You can also use slopes to get to them much quicker.
Hello? Jack, can you hear me?
Why Jack?
Right. You wouldn't know. It's a code name we used for you during the repairs. Diego said you were all jacked up when he found you, and it stuck. Do you mind if I call you that?
No.
Okay, so who is Zoe? Zoe is a survivor from the Climbers rebel cell, and she established communication with the Ghostrunner, and she started providing him with an alternate context for the places and events of Dharma Tower.
All set. I've put together some gear. Once I plug in my Atma, I'll be able to monitor the key's communications and keep you updated.
Atma?
Atma chip, the standard neural implant. You must have heard of them.
As you can see,
Basically
the
simplified
base
versions of
district
your own
is a
voice.
heavily industrialized part of the tower. You can notice it while traversing all the arenas full of hazardous
I'm gonna connect
surfaces
to your visual
and
feed so I
moving
can guide you
machinery.
better. Can you grant me access?
Done.
And I'm in. Seeing the world from your perspective will make things much easier.
Your surroundings can be as deadly as your enemies, so paying attention to where you are going is a must. Some arenas in our game are totally linear, but some of them are way more open, and it's up to you to decide which way you choose. You have to find out the one that suits your playstyle the most. Alright, so we are done with this section right now. Now we are jumping even farther on our timeline. The enemies are getting more and more fierce and technologically advanced, as the Keymaster's elite troops gather to protect the elevators, and we can see that they start to look less like bandits and more like soldiers or a militia. The next enemy that I would like to introduce to you is called the Enforcer. As you can see, they are equipped with a shield, so you can't approach them frontally. You need to use your movement abilities, such as a sensory boost, to get behind them. Using environments such as walls, grappling points, and combining it with your movement abilities is the way to outsmart them. So here is another example of protection for the enemies in our game. This guy is protected by that blue energy. So let's find out if we can break it. This type of protection is called the beacon shield. So to kill the protected enemy, first we have to destroy a beacon. Just like that. Number of beacons and number of the protected enemies may vary. It's up to the player to spot them and to prepare the right plan for execution. Okay, so we are back to Cybervoid in order to learn a new skill. The Ghostrunner was able to download data on one of the techniques used by his kind, called the Tempest.
Focus energy in your right hand, and then let it all out.
What?
Don't try to think. Do it.
It's now time to test it out in the safety of the Cybervoid before using it in actual combat. So basically it works like a very strong wave of the energy accumulated in your hand, which can push away and kill the enemies.
It's just a visualization anyway.
How does it work in the real world?
Rapid micro-vibrations of your inner hydraulics. Sudden change in local pressure will result in a concentrated blast. Let's hope that piece of junk the climbers use to replace your arm can handle it.
The Japanese theme corresponds to the fact that the whole tower and the Cybervoid, along with the Ghostrunners, were created by a single man, the architect.
The primary application was crowd control, non-lethal force. Of course, there's no need to restrain ourselves now.
He was fascinated by Japanese culture, modeling his elite bodyguards after historical warriors, as well as including visual references to Japanese aesthetics throughout many of his designs.
One more thing. You can use Tempest to deflect projectiles. Give it a try. Like that.
Yes, you can also use Tempest to reflect enemy projectiles. But you have to time it right because the effective range is limited.
Just a bit more practice and we're done.
Actually, it is possible to deflect the bullets with your sword, and it's one of the upgrades which you can get while your character is progressing. But our character progression system is a topic for another video. Okay, we are back on the same level where we introduced to you the Enforcer enemy, and it is time to meet the next one, called Slugger. They are the melee type of enemy who can be very deadly if we are not fast enough. So Slugger can jump on you using that area of effect attack, or if you come too close to him, he can just attack you with his huge fist. So the way to deal with them is to dodge the attack by dashing back or sideways. You can also use your sensory boost to dodge them in air.
There's no access to the terminal room from this side of the station, but I guess that's not a problem.
As you can see in the bottom left corner, our special ability is almost ready to use. You can refill the energy bar by killing the enemies, but a small amount of energy is also refilling over time. Okay, so now we have a more complex arena in front of us. We've got 2 enforcers, beacon shield and 1 enemy with a pistol. So let's fill our Tempest ability and try to use it. So we can forget about the beacon because Tempest is so powerful that it can destroy all types of protection. It's also a kind of tactical approach to our fast-paced gameplay, where you have to figure out when and on which type of enemy using your special ability will be the most effective. Okay, so let's jump even farther on our timeline. Here we are in around the half of the game. We want to show you a totally new setting and a few new mechanics. The Ghostrunner reaches Dharma City, a metropolis situated above the base level that he's been traversing until now.
So this is the city. Wow.
You've never been here?
No, I told you. The Keymaster only allows those loyal to her, and only a chosen few.
Mara strictly controls the flow of resources between the city and the base. Food, water, people.
The residential and commercial part of Dharma turns out to be even more crowded with the Keymaster soldiers than the base, but there is no turning back. Here is the next type of enemy, drone. As you can see, it's rotated back to us, so we can try to use our gap jammer to jump right onto it. So as you can see, we can steer it a little bit, so it's also a very convenient way to travel from one Dharma City rooftop to another.
Is the repository, a data archive created to store knowledge about the world before the burst. It holds some of the documentation on Project Ghostrunner.
Just some.
Only on what was already in development back then.
So where do we go? What's the next step?
Point me to the repository.
Okay, here you go. Just had to download the layout.
Here we've got 2 drones. We are lucky that their spotlights are facing down, so let's try to use them as our transportation method. And this is another cool thing about drones. We can use their explosion to kill other enemies on the ground. Okay, so in front of us we've got Cyber Void Uplink. Uplinks are places where the Ghostrunner can access and disable his safety limiter, effectively overclocking his own body and allowing himself to achieve extraordinary feats for a short period of time. This particular uplink allows him to jump super high, which is very convenient in Dharma City's rooftop setting. There will be a few other type of Cyber Void uplinks which you will be able to use in Ghostrunner. Let's take a look at this arena. We have several ways to go, but as you can see, these enemies are protected with the beacon shields. So let's find the source of this protection. And here we can use a rail or a super jump uplink to get there. Okay, so we have to remember that there is also the trigger enemy without a rifle, so let's try again. And Tempest is now ready to use, so let's use it. Alright, so these 2 remaining enemies are no longer protected with a beacon shield, so let's approach them from behind. And that's it for this presentation. Thank you for watching, and Ghostrunner will come to PC and consoles later this year, so please stay tuned.
This is troublesome.